Hello, good evening and welcome to Business here on Joy News Prime with me, Beverly Broom. We go straight to our very first story, and financial economist and chairman of SEM Group, Dr. Sam Mensah, has described President Akufo-Addo's criticism of international rating agencies as a poor representation of how rating agencies operate. According to Dr. Mensah, rating agencies are reasonably neutral and objective with the outcome. Hence, comments by the president will not deter them from doing their work.
If that is a criticism, then I think it's probably not quite representative of how the rating agencies work, because as I said earlier, rating agencies are monitoring the same indicators for all borrowers, including African countries. And therefore, they monitor and change their ratings according to what they are reading from these indicators. And mind you, there are quite a few African countries that have very good ratings. For example, Botswana has an investment grade rating of BBB, which is quite high. So I think in general, the work of the rating agencies are reasonably neutral and very objective. I think the rating agencies will continue to do their work, and their work is to certify the credit quality of an issue coming to the market. In many countries, including the United States got downgraded in 2011, and the UK got downgraded, I believe, in 2023 by S&P. So they will continue to do their work. I don't think they will be deterred by any such comments. It seems to me that international investors are looking for certification from rating agencies that have worldwide or global standards for rating. And therefore, I don't see it as something that is so easy to implement in terms of creating Africa's own rating agency.
Meanwhile, economist Professor Lord Mensah has described President Akufo-Addo's reactions to ratings agencies' assessment of the economy as uncalled for. According to Professor Mensah, government needs to manage the economy well to withstand global shocks and avoid blaming rating agencies.
Clearly, I think the president needs to appreciate that the Eurobond market is not a sustainable source of financing, a country. I mean, clearly, you cannot rely on borrowing to finance your activities. We should also understand that the parameters and the models that are used to come up with a rating has not changed. The only thing that has changed is the circumstances and then the country-specific problems. So if we look at the global exposures and then you look at the country-specific problem, put them in the model, whatever comes out is what is interpreted for the consumption of the general investor community, looking at Ghana and then elsewhere. So I think blaming the rating agencies won't change anything, because at the end of the day, you are looking at same model, and then possibly same input that is supposed to generate an output. Whatever happened, you should manage your country to a level where the global shocks will not have much of a problem when it comes to externalities of that sort. So if the country was to be a country where we've managed our economy very well, we have very good buffers, in as much as those global shocks will have impact, it wouldn't have been as much as we are experiencing now. So that blame on the rating agencies, for me, it's uncalled for.
Moving on, the World Bank has admitted that stringent disbursement rules made it difficult for Ghana to draw down on a number of project funds. It is estimated that Ghana missed out on more than $2 billion of funds set aside for projects because of the structuring of procurement processes to check corruption. But the World Bank Country Director Pierre Lapon says the bank is taking steps to deal with this challenge.
Now we are approaching end of the fiscal year. I'm pushing the teams to please let's make sure we disburse. But then some people will tell me, Pierre, there's so many problems in this ministry, blah, blah, blah. And sometimes when I go and talk to the minister, we find that problems actually sometimes on our side. You know, because of the procurement rules, stringent, sometimes cumbersome and long. And we do understand, and when sometimes countries, clients call, tell it just takes too long. And sometimes they are right. And our role is to try to see how we can be more flexible. And in this context, there's actually an initiative inside the World Bank now. It's called the Evolution Roadmap, where the World Bank is taking a look at ourselves, at how we operate now, and in the next few months and next year or so, we will come out with a new approach. Not necessarily new, but we will see what is not working, how we can do better, and procurement will surely be one of the things that we will be taking in mind.
Now, the United Kingdom has today announced the introduction of radically simplified trading rules and a cut-in tariff on products from developing countries, saving UK businesses and consumers millions of pounds a year. The UK's new post-Brexit developing countries trading scheme, entering into force today, covers 65 countries that are home to over 3.3 billion people, and over half are in Africa. The move, as stated in a press release, is to ensure that more products qualify for the scheme, as well as benefit developing countries looking to diversify and increase exports, driving their prosperity and reducing their need for aid. Now, reacting to this development, West Africa Regional Director of CART International, Apia Kusie-Domako, says Ghana can only take advantage of such international trade activities if governments consciously implement measures to create an enabling environment for private businesses to thrive.
I think Ghana, as we've been informed, or we are all aware, our fundamentals have not been good for the past 2 years. And if we can improve on our export, it means that we can have enough forests to be able to support our balance of trade and keep the cedi strong against the major trading currencies. And so for me, I think this is something that Ghana can take advantage of. What we have to do as a country is to make sure that we create the enabling environment to allow the private sector here to be able to produce and export to other countries. Unfortunately, we've not done well over the past 1.5 years, simply because we have consistently been increasing our electricity tariffs. And also the other macroeconomic indicators have also conspired against the private sector. And so if we want to ensure that businesses stay and remain here to take advantage of it, export the products to the United Kingdom and return their proceeds to support the cedi, I think that we must also create the enabling environment. Of course, government has been saying this thing for a long time, but I think they will need to do more to ensure that the private sector, they are able to export competitively. Just last week, for example, we learned that the Ghana Hoteliers Association have criticized the recent increase in utility tariffs. We are gradually making Ghana a difficult place to do business, and until we consciously make it to the place to do business, we might not be able to take advantage of all of these brilliant initiatives.
That's all for Business Tonight. We have more business news when you log on to myjoyonline.com/business. Next is sports with Razak Musbah.